What's going on? It's Erico from Epic Brawl Time. We have Edward here, top 4 in a 1K tournament. How's it going?
Doing alright. Feel pretty good. It's a good way to spend the weekend.
Facts. What were you playing today?
So today, I decided to play Red Green Law. The deck really drew me, like the whole wombo combo, bounce, replay, draw cards. It was really interesting. So I picked it up over the last week, practiced with my buddy a bit, and just kind of got down a lot of the simple lines.
There we go. Okay. So just so everybody knows, top 4 decided to split, so that's what we got right here, and let's just get into the deck profile.
Alright, so first I'm going to start off with all the 4-ofs. So because we want to maximize how quickly we get on the board, we're playing 4 of all of our 1-drops. So 4 Otama, decent for contesting larger threats, combos with Jet Pistol, but again, it's a 2K that's a 1 cost, so nice to just get on the board early and get going. Then for blockers, we're playing 4 Beige and 4 Chopper. Again, just want to play to the board as quickly as possible, want to be able to protect your life in the late game. So having only 4 means you're at a slight disadvantage from the start, but if you can just keep the board gummed up, then you're usually pretty safe. Then, additional for our searchers, played 4 Bonnie and 4 Nami. So this completes all of our 1-drops. Both Nami and Bonnie are integral to the deck. Just being able to keep your hand full, get on the board early, be able to replay and bounce with Law's effects. One of the best ways to just start your game off and keep your hand full. Then additional 4-ofs, we have 4 Blocker Killer. Again, being able to block late in the game almost perpetually is really important. And as a cheap Supernova, it's a nice hit for the Bonnies in the early game and the late game.
And it gets you a draw.
It's great. Being able to block and draw to replace itself, so you're, again, never going down too many cards, is a way to just always keep in the game.
Cheaper boa.
Yep, exactly. Cheaper boa. Then 4 Zorro. A lot of lists I've seen are only playing 3, but I think Zorro is just one of the best cards in the game right now, and playing anything less than 4 is a little ridiculous. It has really strong synergies. It's tutorable by Nami. It gets bounced and replayed by 5-cost Law. It can get seeded in, obviously, with your leader. And again, it's just one of the best aggressive cards in the late game. And then for our last 4-of, we have 5-cost Law. Again, combos really well with the Laws. Nice to be able to pick, attack with Zorro, bounce it, attack again with the same Zorro, or reuse your Namis and your Bonnies in the same turn, getting multiple draws a turn. Fantastic blocker, 6K. It's a good attacker, good blocker, and it's just one of the best cards to be able to cheat in with Law's ability.
Right.
So the list overall is trying to maximize using Law, because anytime you're using Law, you're cheating on Dawn, you're getting tempo, and being able to keep that up throughout the entire game while keeping up on cards is really where you can leverage Law's strengths.
Gotcha.
So now for the 2-ofs, playing 2 Nekamushi. One of the more awkward cards, as he's not tutorable. He's a Land of Wano and Aizawa 9. So can't be tutored by either of our searchers, but is, again, a cheap green creature, which is important because you want to have a decent balance of red and green in the deck, so you always are able to pick up and put down with Law. Able to remove or tap down early threats to be able to contest the board or get through blockers late in the game. Fantastic card, but again, the only reason it's a 2-of is because we're trying to not clog our searchers up.
Yep.
Because anytime a card doesn't get hit by either searcher, then it's reducing both of our searchers' effectiveness considerably. Then the next 2-of, 2 Brook. Primarily used as a 2K counter, but again, an early card to get on the board. It's nice to be able to just turn to play it, suit up your Law, almost guarantee an early attack, and get that life lead early, and just keep it up. But again, a lot of times primarily used as a searchable Straw Hat 2K counter. Still fine if you need to play it. Again, you need to get 5 characters on board to really make best use of Law's ability. Then, as our only one of, I'm playing a single copy of Useless Captain Kid promo. This is a card that I'm still on the fence about. The main reason behind it was I didn't want to play a 4th Robin, as Robin can be clunky in a lot of matchups. Like, for instance, the Kaido matchup. But Kid, on the other hand, if you play this on turn 2 in the Kaido matchup, you're able to next turn just suit them up with as much non as you want and just get that early double hit in, and there's not much they're going to really be able to do about it.
Gotcha.
Which gives you a lot of tempo, especially if they've decided to play Castle on turn 3. And other than that, it's, a supernova, so it's tutorable by Bonnie, it has counter, it's just exactly fine. Then going on, we have 3 Robin, one really powerful 3-drop, but again is matchup dependent. In Kaido, it's almost useless, but it can still pick off blockers late in the game if she's not getting picked off by Kings. Straw Hat, counter,
Right.
still fine. Then we're playing a couple Ezos. This is, again, one of the cards that isn't tutorable by either tutor, which is why it's only a 2 of, because we're, again, trying to maximize how many hits we can get off our tutors every time. 2k counter, rest a character with 4 or less. It's fantastic for clearing the board, controlling the board, and then protecting yourself and your characters late in the game. Next, we're playing 2 Trigger Killer. Fantastic to be able to get rid of early Okikos that have attacked or Robins after they've attacked. Can combine with Nekomushi to just tap down and then kill a character on the spot. The trigger is nice because sometimes you can get under the board a little bit earlier just by hitting the trigger, even if you're not getting the additional on-play effect. Because again, getting the 5 characters as quickly as possible is really how you're gonna get a lot of your tempo.
Gotcha.
Only a 2 of, because if you have to play the card, a lot of times it can be clunky. It's a bit situational, but it's nice to have the option of. Then as our only event, I'm playing 2 copies of Gungram Jet Pistol. It's a fantastic card, and in a deck like Luffy or Zorro, I'd want to play probably more. But again, we're trying to maximize number of
the consistency.
Yeah, the consistency. It does get hit by Bolt Searchers as it's a Supernova and a Straw Hat, which is fantastic, but it's not a card that develops our own board. It's good to have access to it, and there's some situations where, especially against like Hawkins or Queen, where you just want to be able to Jet Pistol right away. So you want to play some number, but again, not too many, so that way we're always developing our own board. Then, as our last 2 cards in the deck, we have 2 copies of 5-cost Luffy. Yep. Fantastic rusher, great to be able to cheat out. Synergizes really well with the next card, being able to get through blockers, attack for large amounts of damage. Supernova and a Straw Hat, so again, hittable by both searchers. Fantastic. Just one of the best top ends. Only 2 of, because again, we're trying to not have clunky draws, and we just want to keep the cost of our hands as low as possible, and just try and finish by playing the same few top end cards a few times, as little as possible. Then last card, 2 copies of Restand Law from the starter deck.
Very strong card. Very strong card.
Synergizes extremely well with the Luffy, decently well with Zorro, being able to just restand and attack for 5 again. Is a solid attacker, 6k, has counter itself, it's hittable by Bonnie, and again, it's just any 5-cost card is going to be fantastic for us to cheat in, especially since as a green card it'll let us swap out our Namis, play this, get access to using Nami again. A great top end to combo with the rest of our deck.
Any changes you would make to the deck?
As of right now, I'm still not completely sold on the promo Kid. I think it is exactly fine, but I haven't found a card that I'd rather play in that slot, because for color reasons, I want that slot to be a cheap green card.
Yeah.
So perhaps it could be a 3rd Nekomushi, which does slightly lower the odds of your hits with your searchers, but ultimately shouldn't be a large percentage, just, small percent.
Right.
That being said, I did whiff on 6 Namis today
Crazy.
with a 97% chance to hit.
True.
But, sometimes how that's it.
Any shout outs?
No, just my buddies from Enfield and West Springfield that have, played a lot of games with me since the game's release. We just jammed a lot of games in between, mostly Magic matches, but we head out to Most Excellent in Manchester, Connecticut once a week for locals, and we've been having a pretty good time there.
All right. Well, congratulations on your top 4, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you again.